Ladies and gorgeous Georges, yes, this is a G&L, this is a proper G&L, not the tribute or the ASAT or any of the other, you know, perhaps inferior models. Let's have a listen and then I shall talk you around it. As it turns out, I've got the spec sheet here, so that shouldn't be too difficult. Let's go. Pickup time, and starting with the bridge. Now there is, and we'll get into this in a little bit, but there is a little micro switch here that takes you from to that. So we'll start with that. Okie dokie. Yes, bridge pickup on not enhanced or whatever. That switch does some kind of trebly, crying out loud, some kind of trebly thing, I seem to think. Into the position between the bridge and the centre. Lovely. Into the centre. In between the centre and the neck. Ooh, that's rather nice. Onto the neck. Just a quick listen on a ring out between the toggle not harmonically enhanced and yes, so not enhanced, trebly, see? Banjo, guitar. Okay, let's have a look round. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, well, so, alright, so let's start the headstop. This, I mean, actually, this doesn't make as much sense as I would like it to, but hey ho, here we go. So, generally speaking, the bulk of these guitars started major production in, you know, 2010-ish. But this one, certainly the shipping date on it is August 2004, so it was clearly made before then. But this was definitely, it was a special order. And so let's have a look from stem to stern. So for a start, of course, we've got 6 on a side, and we've got a nice little back wingy type of headstock. The serial number doesn't make any sense to me at all. You can have a look at that if you wish. God bless you. And no two ways about it. This is rather nice, and not like any of the other Comanche specs that I've seen before. This is the first one of these that I've played, and I like it. I was certainly going to do a Shadows tune, or Shadowsy, that kind of thing, but it didn't say that to me, And so, yes, as you saw around the back here, we've got those lovely high-end locking tuners. I put new strings on it earlier today. It took me literally 2 minutes. So, for a start, for any of you gigging guitarists out there, and I know that there are 1 or 2 of you who do tune in, blimey O'Reilly, if you're changing your strings all the time, locking tuners, it is the way to go. I know that I've said this before, but it is just so easy. So what do we have? Well, certainly we've got a Canadian rock maple neck, all one piece. The truss rod is clearly below the, and pay attention here, below the ebony fretboard, which is in absolutely beautiful condition, as are the frets. Not much evidence of playing wear on here, a little bit here and there, but really very, very little. And they're just really well made. So we've got 22 frets. They definitely look, whether they're acrylic or not, the pearloid, I don't know, but they look a bit MOP to me. Not 100% on that. And you've got binding all over the neck, and fortunately not on the nib ends. Don't like that. The action is precisely where our electric guitar should sit at 1 1/4, and the body AAA. Oh my word, that is heartbreakingly lovely. That is a AAA Swamp Ash body, and this boy weighs in, I don't mind telling you. So the first thing perhaps that will become immediately obvious to you is those staggered pickups, a bit like on your P-bass, that kind of thing, you see. So what these offer is, these are called Z pickups, or of course, if you're in the United States of America, that would be Z pickups, and they offer a single coil sound, and somehow they eliminate the 60 cycle hum, which is, don't know how they do that, but that's rather clever. I will tell you that it did need a bit of a setup, and the setup took me all of about 8.5 minutes. These are like, as I've mentioned before, I used to be a mechanic in a previous life, and these are like working on a Ford Cortina Mark III. They're just so easy, so practical, and so sensibly made, with all real quality bits. This thing, when it was actually made or ordered as a special, was $2,500. And it belonged to the guitarist in the Aquamarines. No, I am either. They're a bit of a surf boy, beach boy type of tribute thing, I seem to think. But nonetheless, this is absolutely stuffed full of great bits. Now, you remember I was talking to you about that toggle switch just a few minutes ago when we had a look at the pickups. The mini toggle switch apparently will engage all 3 pickups, depending, of course, which position it's in, which is rather nice. I'm not very precious about that kind of thing. I just use my lug holes to see what sound works best for me. But oh my, oh my, oh my, these are so well put together. Now you've got so you've got a nice vibrato system here, which is a double fulcrum, like a, well, I would say like a knife point, but it isn't, because of course the screws are enclosed. So you can raise and fall the height of the entire bridge, and then, even better, you can raise and fall the height of each intonatable bridge saddle, which is terrific, absolutely brilliant. There's yes, there's a little grub screw that will keep your wang bar from flopping about. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at the finish! Look at the finish! That is beautiful, is it not? So we've got three, like your Strat, we've got three knobs. This top one is for volume. You've got a 5-position blade selector switch, as per your Strat. However, the two tone controls actually aren't tone controls. They are passive bass and treble controls. Why has nobody thought of that before? That is that is brilliant, and that is so much more useful than just two tone knobs. I adore that, I really do. Apart from the overall, I mean, of course it looks like a Fender Stratocaster with a slightly different headstock, but this, make no mistake, these are superb. And they're on the used market, they're not actually terribly expensive. Certainly not as expensive as I might have thought. So if you see one of these knocking about, bag yourself a bargain while they're still available. There are very few on the open market, and really, so you're going to pay somewhere, I should think, between, depending on the specs and the history, and if you've got all the documentation and the original case, which is like an ABS molded case with the G&L logo in the top, which is a thing to behold in itself, to be fair. So if you've got all the dots with it, you can probably expect, I don't know, somewhere between, as we stand today, 2022, anywhere between 1,500 quid and £2,500. I would have thought, as I said, depending on how they were specced out, because some of them are just regular went to the shop products, and some of them were special orders like these. So swamp ash body, ebony fretboard, 22 frets, either MOP at mother of pearl or certainly pearlwood inlays, very high end tuners, and really all in all an absolute, the Z pickups really are not a gimmick, they actually work. So with all of that said, I shall bid you a fond farewell, and I'll see you on Wednesday. What a cut by a G&L. That just astonishing. Thank you all ever so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Adios amigos. Ta-ra.